I took a high-paying job with no interview. I found out why too late. I didn't apply for the job. That should have been my first warning. The email came on a Tuesday morning, sitting in my inbox like it belonged there. We've reviewed your background and believe you'd be a strong fit for a remote role. Compensation details attached. No recruiter name. No company logo. Just a clean PDF outlining salary, benefits, and a start date. The pay was absurd. More than double what I was making. Fully remote, flexible hours, minimal oversight. The role description was vague. Operational oversight and quality assurance. I replied, assuming it was a scam. They replied back within 5 minutes. No interview required. Your work history already answered our questions. That line made my stomach tighten. I asked how they'd found me. We observe emerging talent across platforms. Not LinkedIn. Not job boards. Just platforms. I should have closed the email. Instead, I signed. The onboarding process was automated. Contracts pre-filled. Direct deposit set up instantly. Access credentials sent within minutes. The platform I logged into looked polished, sterile. Dashboards. Metrics. Tabs labeled things like flow, compliance, variance. My task was simple, they said. Review decision logs. Flag inconsistencies. Rate outcomes. I wasn't creating anything. I was judging. The first datasets looked harmless. Business processes, customer interactions, logistics chains. Then I noticed something strange. Some entries were labeled human-initiated deviations. I clicked one. It was a transcript of a phone call. A real one. Someone's voice cracked as they said, "I just don't think I can keep doing this." The outcome rating next to it was non-compliant. A note beneath read, "Intervention recommended." I told myself it was corporate nonsense. Customer support triage, crisis escalation. Then I scrolled. There were hundreds. All different voices. Different situations. Same cold conclusion. And every time I flagged one as concerning, the system responded with a single word. Acknowledged. No follow-up. No explanation. The first time my name appeared in the system, I didn't recognize it as a warning. It showed up in a sidebar notification. Observer performance correlation detected. I clicked it, and that's when I saw my decisions were being analyzed too. Not for accuracy, for alignment. Once I noticed the pattern, I couldn't unsee it. Every decision I made was scored, not just what I flagged, but how long I hesitated, whether I reread entries, whether I escalated or dismissed. A side panel I hadn't paid attention to before now glowed faintly. Observer metrics. Decision latency. Deviation tolerance. Emotional variance. Compliance drift. None of those were things a normal job should care about. I clicked compliance drift. A line graph appeared. It started high, then slowly dipped, then leveled out. A tooltip popped up. Normalization achieved. That's when it hit me. This wasn't quality assurance. It was calibration. They were testing how much human discomfort could be smoothed away with repetition. The datasets changed after that. No more business calls. Now they were labeled personal event responses, text messages, email exchanges, chat logs, arguments between couples, employees pushing back against managers, friends saying they needed space. Every entry ended the same way, a person asserting autonomy. And every outcome was graded on whether that autonomy was reduced. Desired result, de-escalation. Observed result, withdrawal. Classification, acceptable. I flagged one as disturbing. The system paused for the first time. A message appeared. Your concern has been noted. Please proceed. Then a second message. Reminder, You are evaluating process efficiency, not morality. That sentence stayed with me. Morality was noise. Efficiency was signal. The money hit my account that Friday. I should have felt relief. Instead, I felt bought. The next week, the platform added a new feature: predictive simulation. It allowed me to adjust variables and see projected outcomes. What happens if resistance is ignored? What happens if support is delayed? What happens if authority is reinforced subtly? The projections weren't theoretical. They referenced real datasets. Real people. I tested one. A scenario labeled Subject 4417. If intervention occurred within 48 hours, the model predicted realignment within 2 weeks. If delayed, probability of permanent disengagement increased. I hovered over the subject's metadata. Age, reign, employment sector, living situation, and a note: high susceptibility to external validation. I closed the simulation. Then my dashboard refreshed. A new notification appeared. Simulation accuracy, updated based on your reaction time. They weren't just modeling others. They were modeling me. That night, I searched the contract for an exit clause. It was there, buried. I could leave at any time. But then I found the addendum. All work performed contributes to longitudinal observer research. Longitudinal, meaning long-term, meaning even leaving was still data. I logged off and stared at my reflection in the dark screen. I couldn't tell when I'd stopped being an employee and started being a subject. The system predicted my next move before I made it. I logged in the following Monday with one intention: document everything and get out. Before I touched anything, a notification appeared. Suggested action: review observer exit pathway. I hadn't searched that phrase. I hadn't clicked anything related to quitting. It was just there, waiting. I opened it. The page was written in neutral, reassuring language, the kind designed to lower resistance. Some observers experience discomfort when exposed to optimization systems. This is normal. Early disengagement often results in regret and misinterpretation. Below that was a breakdown of people like me. Observers who hesitated early. Observers who questioned ethical framing. Observers who attempted to disengage. Each category had outcomes. Those who stayed longer reported reduced distress. Those who left early reported heightened paranoia. Those who exposed systems publicly reported loss of credibility. None of it was sourced. None of it needed to be. Fear doesn't require citations. I closed the page and tried to download logs. Access denied. Then the system did something new. It showed me a simulation. This one was labeled Observer Self. My age. My job history. My online activity patterns. My recent decision scores. Projected outcomes. Exit quietly. Social destabilization, financial stress, increased rumination. Remain temporarily. Normalization, financial stability, reduced anxiety. Expose system. Reputational damage, legal ambiguity, isolation. There was no good option. Only managed ones. I received a message. System. You are performing within expected variance. That was worse than a threat. It meant panic was part of the plan. I tested the boundaries. I deliberately misrated a case. Marked a clear suppression outcome as inefficient. The system froze for half a second. Then responded. Deviation registered. Adjustment applied. My compliance score dropped slightly. And then the next case loaded. It was about someone quitting a job. Their message read: I don't feel like myself anymore. The recommended outcome: delay support, encourage reevaluation. I stared at the screen for a long time. This wasn't just about control. It was about attrition, wearing people down until resistance felt like more effort than surrender. And I was being trained to assist. I logged off and didn't come back for 3 days. On the 4th day, an email arrived. No subject. We've noticed increased cognitive load. A break is acceptable. However, prolonged absence may affect reintegration comfort. Reintegration. Like prison. I realized something then. They didn't care if I stayed. They cared that I remained predictable. I quit on a Wednesday. No announcement. No confrontation. I simply stopped logging in. 2 weeks passed. The money stopped. Nothing else did. The system didn't chase me. Because it didn't need to. 3 months later, I started noticing changes. Ads that mirrored my fears. Content recommendations that nudged my thinking. Job listings framed with the same language the platform used. Alignment. Structure. Resilience. I'd never given them permission to follow me. But permission was never the point. Correlation was. I don't think the system is one company. I think it's a methodology. Distributed. Modular. Invisible. I still don't know if I was helping suppress people, or if I was being prepared to become one of them. But I know this. The job didn't end when I quit. It ended when I stopped reacting. When I stopped letting their language shape my choices. That's the only real resistance left. And even that might just be another variable they've already accounted for.